Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Chucky Revisited series. We're talking about Child's Play 3. That's right. Child's Play 3. Oh boy, do I have history with this. So, Child's Play 3 came out in 1991, just 10 months after Child's Play 2. Yeah. So it was like a quick turnaround for this one, and you can tell it's not the best. I still like it. There's a lot to like from it. There's some good one-liners. This is when Chucky was getting into full one-liner mode, and you can tell that. And there's some good one-liners, some decent kills, but I've never been a fan of the setting, military academy, and it is kind of jarring, especially now, because the story takes place 8 years later. We'll get to the timeline in a second. Because it takes place 8 years later, Andy is now played by Justin Whalen instead of Alex Vincent, because they needed to age up Andy. And it's jarring when you're going through these, and you get to this, and it's Justin Whalen, and then when he comes back in Curse of Chucky, and yes, I'm right about that, Curse of Chucky, the post-credit scene, it's Alex Vincent again. But I used to think, well, then the ages would be messed up, but not really. Not really. It wouldn't be, but it's jarring now that Alex Vincent has come back, especially with the TV series, that Justin Whalen kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Not that he's bad, he's actually pretty good in this, but I'm just saying. But my history with this movie goes back to 1998, as Bride of Chucky was on its way to theaters. USA Network was airing a marathon of the Child's Play movies. At least, I think it's just 2 and 3 on. They hadn't one yet. But I remember turning on 3 and watching the beginning. And the whole swirling pool of plastic. And it's when he kills Mr. Shove It In Your Ass, Stick It In Your Ass Sullivan, that it freaked me out. Ironically, I love that moment now, but it freaked me out. So I changed it to something that I thought was going to be safe, and that is wrestling. WCW, to be precise. And can you just guess which episode of WCW Monday Nitro it was? Now, I still think this was an episode of Thunder, but this aired on Nitro. Only thing I can think of. Because if it was a Monday, then Raw would be on USA Network, not Chucky. So I'm thinking it was a Thursday that I was off from school or something, and they had a marathon of the 2 Chucky movies they had the rights to. Maybe the first one. I don't know if Universal had control over USA at the time. I don't know. But I know it was USA Network. Okay? So, only thing I think of is that it was Thunder replaying what happened on Nitro. Because I remember it being Thunder, but I turned the channel again. And my grandma thought it was Goosebumps Night in Terror Tower that freaked me out. Oh, you shouldn't have watched that Goosebumps movie you got. That was not it. It was Chucky. Because they didn't think I was afraid of Chucky, and I was. I wouldn't let my feet dangle. It freaked me out. And again, 1998, I'm 11 years old. 11. I'm just saying. But, yeah. So, back to Child's Play 3. The timeline. And the movie can't even get the information right. That's what happens when there's a 10-month turnaround on a movie. So, everywhere, you look at Wikipedia, you look at the back of the boxes, you look back at cases, you look everywhere on the internet, and it tells you it's 8 months after Child's Play 2. However, the information given to Mr. Shove It In Your Ass Sullivan, Stick It Up Your Ass Sullivan, say it right, Mr. Stick It Up Your Ass Sullivan, says that it was 8 years that Andy Barclay claimed a killer good guy doll tried to kill his family, tried to kill him. That indicates that it's been 8 years since the first film, which will put it in 1996. However, everything else is 1998, So that's what I'll put it. Despite the fact that everything looks like 1991. Whatever. The clothing styles, if they did not have a scene at the carnival, I think it would work better. But you go to the carnival and you just have everybody wearing clothes from 1991, excuse me. Doesn't look right. Not look right, but 1991, and it just doesn't look right. You know? And also, then Bride of Chucky supposedly takes place 1 month after this, which, with the continuity, does kind of make sense. Given that Tiffany would want to find him quickly. But we'll go into that in the next one. So we start off with them 8 years later cleaning up the Good Guy Dolls factory. And again, I just gotta say, they still didn't believe him about the killer doll. There would be DNA evidence all over the place. And by 1990, they would have the DNA evidence. And especially by 1998, although, you know, I'm just saying it's, I don't know. They would have the DNA test things out by 1990. I'm just saying. Especially now. But they just clean everything and they pick up what the carcass of what's left and the blood drips inside the vat of plastic that they are at this. They have machines operating, creating new dolls while they're still cleaning out the fucking factory. That's unsanitary. As a janitor myself, it would be on. I know that, you know, I clean places while people are still working, but the fact that something drips from the thing that they're trying to clean up proves that that is unsanitary. And also, Chucky's blood drips inside the vat and creates an army of killer Chucky dolls. No, that's what should have happened, but it doesn't. Why? Budget, that's why. It's what Don Mancini originally wanted to do, and does, worsely executed, later in the franchise. Yeah, not a fan of the magic voodoo spell that can magically put Chucky in more dolls. Not a fan of that. This would make more sense. His blood spilled in the vat, creating all these Chucky dolls. Makes more sense. Magic voodoo spell pulled out of Chucky's ass to control multiple Chucky dolls. Wrong. Does not make sense. I know that Don Mancini did not like the voodoo aspect, but to just say voodoo can do anything now, it's voodoo, not sorcery. Like a it's not. I don't know. It's magic. I don't know. It's just. I don't know. And he screams, "No!" Andy Barclay, now played by Justin Whalen, is being enrolled in Kent Military Academy, the most boring setting for any film in this franchise. Sorry. It's stupid. Not a fan of military setting. I don't watch war films. Only military set film I like, Major Payne. Oh! Ah! Yes. Like, I guess I like this one too, but Major Payne is better than this movie. I said it. I did it. I said it. I stole my mama's credit. I'm cool. I'm hot. Suck me in your stomach 3 more times. Oh, don't do that. Burped. Anyway, so, yeah, he's enrolled to this academy because he's now 16 and has been through the foster system, and now he's just spat out here. And I've always wondered why, because especially now, we know that he kept in touch with Kyle. Why he didn't just stay with Kyle? They said in the last one that she was going to be out the next year. So why didn't they just have like a thing where it's like, okay, you can stay with her, she's going to be 18 next year. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she thought she couldn't handle it. I don't know. Maybe she's right. I don't know. And also, Kyle's absence from this film is a little bit jarring for me. But then again, you bring Christina Elise back, she's gonna look the same. Mr. Shove It Up His Ass also looks the same. But yeah, and there's a whole boardroom talking about this. And Mr. Stick It Up Your Ass says, Sullivan says, nobody cares about Charles Barkley. Andy Barkley. Nobody cared about Charles Barkley either, but nobody cares about Andy Barkley. That's just terrible. That's just terrible. No one cares about Andy Barkley anymore. Everyone's forgotten all that stuff. So they got the new good guy of the 90s. A statement that couldn't be more wrong. One, they had good guys in Child's Play 2. That was the 90s. But also, this is 1998, supposed to be. So wouldn't it be the good guy for the new millennium? Because it's just around the corner, about in a year or so. Right, depending on when this takes place. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, so Mr. Stick It Up Your Ass Sullivan takes it back to his office / penthouse apartment. Kind of small. I think it's his office with a couch and TV. Because it's kind of small if it's an apartment. There's no kitchen or anything. I think it's his office. I have a small apartment. Plus, you think someone like that would have a house. Would own a house, right? So, he's watching the news, which starts talking as soon as he turns on the TV. Literally. He turns on the TV and the guy goes, in the news today. I'm just like, really? That is, no. It's not how news works. Often you turn on the news and you're in the middle of a conversation. Not that it just starts. Turn on. And today, no. But he's practicing his golf game, and Chucky starts using the toys to attack him. There's two of the good guys there, which I guess there was more than one, even though they brought Chucky in, the good guy of the 90s. But yeah, and yeah, and so he takes some piano wire, or whatever it is, a yo-yo or something, and strangles him. And you get a classic Chucky one-liner, nothing like a strangulation to get the circulation going. And now he's gone full talking like this. Now, he's got the Chucky voice down. 3 movies in, and he's got the voice down now. Yeah, so then he just uses Mr. Stick It in the Ass Sullivan's compupulator there. Computer, for those you don't know. Uses the compupulator to just find Andy. Sure, Sullivan said that they had it was referred earlier that they were keeping an eye on Andy, so I guess it would be easy to do that, but he just knows. So he has himself sent to Andy. And I always wondered, like, later it's confirmed that Tiffany is helping him. How the hell did he wrap himself in a box? Did he have... No, because then they'd find Sullivan's body. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. Maybe he packaged himself in a box and left a note, pretending to be Sullivan, saying this Camp Military Academy. I don't know. You don't know. I mean, he was found by this little shit named Private Tyler. Ronald Tyler, but just call him Tyler because he calls it by their last names. Tyler. He's supposed to be sent to Andy. Meanwhile, Andy finds out that it's not the best of Kent. We have Andrew Robinson playing Sergeant Botnick, who gets off, for lack of a better term, on shaving people's heads. Problem is, his catchphrase is, "Presto, you're bald." But they have more hair than I do. I swear, it's like when you shave someone's head, but you use the #1 clip, and it's still, like, Andy has a flat top in this. And he's like, "Presto, you're bald." No, he's not. Sure, the flat top is a military cut, but to say you're bald, it just makes no sense. And we see the good guy commercial on TV. They clearly didn't think to film a new commercial for 1998. It's the same goddamn commercial from the first movie. They just reused it. And it just doesn't make any sense. Why? This company would not be that lazy. I mean, they keep recycling the same thing over and over again to sell, to make money, I guess. But, you know, and you get Tyler. Wow! So naturally, when Tyler is tasked with bringing the box to Andy, he drops it and he sees it's a good guy doll, so he takes it down to the basement and, or was it like not archives, artillery room or something, and he opens up the box, opens up the wrap paper, and Chucky just bursts out of the box somehow. How the hell is that? I don't know. But Chucky's mad because it's not Andy. But Chucky comes up with the stupid-ass idea and says, hey, I got a new body. Maybe the rules start all over again. So he's going to tell Tyler who he is so he can then change his soul, change his body, so he can then swap. He can put himself in Tyler's body, swap his soul into Tyler's body. See how I'm trying to phrase it here? He can take over Tyler's body. There it is. 2 problems. 1, how did he just decide that because he has a new body? Okay, I have 3 problems. 1, how can he just decide, oh, I have a new body, so it must mean the rules revert? Where does that come from? How does he have proof that it's going to work that way? 2, if it's supposed to work this way, couldn't he have tried that in the last one instead of looking after Andy? Because then if that was a new body, just the same head, right? Everything else was new. But, no. And finally, number 3, if the rules have reverted back, and you can start all over again, why would you choose a child again? Sure, Tyler is there, but you could just say, oh, fuck off, and leave. I mean, I guess you could say, well, Tyler was there, so he had no other choice. But, come on. And I guess a child would have less fight in him, although that's been proven wrong in the last 2 movies, so I don't know. I mean, Kyle was held hostage by the guy. I don't know. It's just confusing. So we meet Whitehurst, who is already tied up and thrown in his own closet. And then we meet the asshole of this movie, Lieutenant Colonel Shelton, who is the drill sergeant, apparently. And, then we meet Da Silva, another very brat girl, and love interest for, Andy. And by the way, the military guys interrupt Tyler, and so the doll is like taken away from him. But Chucky does get away and makes his way to Andy's room, and so he decides to brag to Andy that he's found someone else, Tyler, and he says, unfortunately, Chucky's gonna be a bro. It's a funny line, but wouldn't be able to do that these days. He finds a Playboy or something and says, Andy, my, how you've grown, especially since it was only a year ago you were 8 years old. I mean, seriously. But yeah, it's yeah. But Shelton happens to see him in there, and he takes the doll to give to his kid sister. It's a boy's toy, but fine. So Andy has to go get the doll back, but gets caught by Shelton, and Chucky gets away. So Chucky keeps trying to get Tyler's soul, or take over his body, you know, even though it still doesn't make any sense. But he comes across Da Silva, who puts makeup on his face. Did I mention that Don Mancini is gay? This was the start of kind of putting that in there. A little subtle. It works. Until the Colonel, played by Dakin Matthews, finds out. And, so everyone has to now do the exorcises in the rain because of Barkley entering the room. Yeah. But the Colonel finds the doll. Chucky springs to life to kill him, and he has a heart attack, leading to another great one-liner. You gotta be fucking kidding me. It's great. They have great one-liners in this. Yeah. So Andy tries to talk to Tyler and tell him that Chucky's bad, but he's like, no, he's a good guy. It says so on his thing. His overalls. It says so. No, he's bad. And he gives Tyler a knife, which doesn't do anything until later, I guess. Yeah. By the way, we get a blatant ripoff of Full Metal Jacket, which I never until recently knew it was from Full Metal Jacket, but this is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for shooting, and this is for fun. I got it from this. A lot of other people get it from Full Metal Jacket, but you know. Namby-pamby land! Arlie Hermy would have been great in this movie, I think. But I don't think, you know. Oh, I forgot about, oh, that's right. They take it and they throw it in the garbage, and he pretends to be a kid, and he gets the guy squished. The garbage guy gets squished. Forgot about that part. But anyway, that's how Andy becomes a rare, because he's sitting there. He's great in that scene. But he's like, it really feels like it's the same character. He's like, oh no, he's found me again. But, so, it's time to honor the Colonel by War Games, which were supposed to happen anyway, but they're going to keep going in his honor now. War Games! It's not that kind of War Games, but you know what I mean. And you got the red team and the blue team. Every one of our main characters, except for Tyler, is on the blue team. And Tyler's on the red team because it's inconvenient for our main characters. So, Andy, De Silva, Shelton, and Whitehurst, excuse me, are all on the blue team. And Tyler and some inconsequential characters are on the red team. I gotta point out here that Chucky replaces all of the paint gun ammo in the red team's rifles with live ammunition. Live rounds. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Paint guns are not designed for live rounds. It wouldn't work, but for the sake of the movie, it's gotta work that way. So, once they get out there, they split up. You know, Andy tries to talk to Tyler, but they split up, of course, and he has to go off on his own. He has a conversation with De Silva where they look over this amusement park, which will be the setting for the finale of the film. I'll tell you what, the finales of the films, I complained about the one in the first movie. The second one is actually pretty cool. This one's not bad, but it just feels like Don Mancini, again, a lot of this 10-month turnaround. So I bet there wasn't a lot of rewrites. And they had access to this amusement park, so they went with it. That's what it feels like. But anyway, so Andy sneaks into Colonel Shelton's tent, takes the map that leads to the red team. Shelton finds out, and oh, I forgot a part. By this point, Whitehurst has found out that Chucky is real because he saw him kill Sergeant Botnick. Presto, you're dead. No, sorry, not into the laugh right now. But anyway, and but he's a chicken shit, so he's not gonna say anything, do anything. I feel like if he did do something, I would have been more productive. But it all leads to a character beat that was needed for his character, but it comes off as he has to be chicken shit in order for this moment to happen. I don't necessarily think so, but fine. So, like I said, Shelton figured out what happened, and Andy's already gone after Tyler, but Tyler has already left. And then as Andy's trying to find Tyler, Shelton finds him. And when they call Silva, she's been captured by Chucky. She had other people there, but they all left, and she's by herself now, held captive by Chucky at an old Jeep. And so he summons Shelton and the Blue Squad over there, while he then radios the Red Team and tells them where the Blue Team are going to be. Because they got the live rounds, you see. He's setting them up. He's also got a grenade, which also comes in later. So they get there, and they send Andy and Tyler there. Because he does find them. Because Tyler gets away from Charles, from Chucky, when he realizes that Andy was right. Chucky's a bad person. So they go up there in the exchange, I guess. And I always feel conflicted when I do these exchanges where they walk past each other. Because wouldn't it be easy for De Silva to just grab Tyler and jump? Or run back to Andy and they both run and then the others come in, right? But no, Shelton orders them to start firing and they fire paint guns. Unfortunately, the animatronics aren't working and he's like, ow! He's like, ow! I'm like, why would it hurt? Then again, the doll's becoming more human, so I guess. But without the human-looking effects from the first one, it doesn't really look like he's turning human anymore. It is indicated with a bloody nose now. And why would this nose believe he was turning human? I don't know. Because it did in the first one, but I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay? So, Tyler escapes during this. And Andy turns out from right away because Tyler sneaks away, technically. So the red team arrives, I should say, and starts firing, killing Lieutenant Colonel Shelton. Killing Shelton. And I'll explain why, but I don't think this death was needed. I'll explain. Then Chucky throws out the grenade, and Whitehurst jumps on it to save everyone. I felt like there would be more blowback than there is, but then I thought about it. Maybe they wanted to make it more realistic, because maybe that's what would happen. In the movie, his body parts should be everywhere, but it just sort of implodes underneath him. And here's why I think Shelton shouldn't have died. I think, because this is where he finds out that the doll, what Andy is saying about the doll is true. So I think if he goes to throw the grenade and Whitehurst jumps on it, pushing Shelton out of the way to do it, it makes Shelton see Whitehurst in a new light. Like, I've been picking on this guy the whole time. He just saved my life. Better character beat, right? So then Andy and De Silva would chase after them, and eventually De Silva gets shot, like she does in the movie, and Andy is having issues. Let's say when Tyler goes to give him the knife, it drops. But just when you think Chucky's going to have the upper hand, here comes Shelton with the knife, cutting off his hand, causing Chucky to drop into the fan. And now Shelton has a newfound respect for Andy, you know. I'm just saying, because now Tyler's left alone, because De Silva goes to the hospital at the end, and he gets put in police custody. He's taken in for questioning. He's not arrested, because he doesn't have handcuffs on. A lot of people say that Andy gets arrested here, and it's not true. He's not wearing handcuffs. He just gets taken in for questioning. And again, I'm trying to tell you the same thing I've been saying for the last 10 years. Okay? Chucky the Killer Doll. I mean, this is 1998. You gotta have the DNA stuff. Go to the fucking fan. Right? I mean, at this point, they have to believe him because they actually put the stuff in evidence lockup, as we find out in the next one. So, yeah. And I pretty much recapped the whole thing. But it's pretty much what I said, but without Shelton. You know, because then Tyler gets left by himself, basically, if Shelton is not there. At least Shelton could help him back to the academy or something. I don't know. But, no, Shelton gets shot. Whitehurst sacrifices himself. Maybe Whitehurst should sacrifice himself first. Then the Red Squad comes in and shoots. No. Anyway, Shelton's death is not needed. I know a lot of people want to see him die, but it's not really needed. But, uh, there's another one line I forgot. Don't fuck with Chuck is when he kills Mr. Sticking Up Your Ass Sullivan. So at this point, Tyler has run away and he goes to the amusement park because, of course, he does. He goes to the security tent where he finds a security guard, and it's revealed that Chucky is already there. Like, he knew that Tyler was going to go there. I guess it would be smart for Tyler to go there, so I guess it would, But, yeah. And off screen, Chucky kills the security guard, so Andy and DeSilva take his gun and go after them into this haunted house thing, which has a giant blade that's a real blade that cuts off half of Chucky's face. I'm just saying. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. So you got real people going through there, man. What the hell? DeSilva gets shot, taking her out of action because we need Andy to go one-on-one. And like I said, Andy saves. So one of Chucky's hands gets cut off. And then Andy cuts the other one off. Well, he shoots off the first one. Then he cuts off the other one. And he falls into this industrial-sized fan that is just laying around because it would be. And I'm already going to point this out, but the remains that Officer Bailey brings to Tiffany in the beginning of the next one, there's way more remains there than there should be. And he falls in, and this goes everywhere. There's blood everywhere. There shouldn't even be enough to repair, but whatever. Whatever, and then like I said, DeSilva goes to the hospital and Andy gets taken in for questioning. End of movie. Just before I get to my little things, the score in this. I mentioned that in the last one, the score ends up being the theme song for the TV show. This, it feels like they were going for a more military-like score. That often gets annoying. That's what it sounds like. I don't know. And again, the ending is very quick. It's like they defeat Chucky. You see that DeSilva's going to the hospital. Tyler's probably going to go back to Kent. I don't know. And then Andy's going in for questioning, and then the movie ends. Say, don't worry. I've done this before. I don't know. I'm going to give it a middle of the road. I like it. I do. But it has its problems. I don't like the military setting. I don't think that Shelton should have died. I felt like he needed sort of a redemption arc. I might be the only one that feels that because everyone thinks he's such an ass. But it just feels like he should have seen Whitehurst jump on the grenade. Like, this guy's been a chicken. If you're going to have me to chicken shit the whole movie, you need some kind of resolution for that. He becomes a hero, but what does it do? Because everyone, they're really, Shelton, maybe Major Ellis could be the one that gets shot by the live rounds, Who knows? But, yeah. And these are characters I want to come back. Obviously, Jeremy Silvers can't because he's the legal complications. But Paris could come back. But then again, she's technically older than Alex Vincent because they aged up Andy, so they got an actress that was the same age as the actor who then played Andy. So that's a little iffy. I don't know. But I'll say it's a high middle of the road. Because to me, this is not terrible, but it does go down a little bit. And you can tell that it was only a 10-month turnaround because this is very first or second draft at least. That they didn't do much rewriting with this script. Favorite one-liner? Favorite kill? I'm going with Whitehurst. Actually, it's a hero's sacrifice and well needed, I guess. Although I do like the death of Sergeant Botnick a lot, and I like the heart attack that he gets because of the one-liner. You know what? I'll give the one-liner to Chucky's, oh, you gotta fucking kidding me. I'll give that one liner because it's so funny. I like Presto, You Dead, and nothing like a strangulation to get the circulation going. Of course, don't fuck with the Chuck, but yeah. Also, I want to point out, I just remembered this. There's a part where Andy and the Silva kiss in the woods and Chucky's watching, and he says, I gotta get out of this body. I'm just like, but you're gonna go into another little kid. We can't do that for at least another 10 years. Again, why does he choose the kid? Because he's right there. That's all I can think of. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on Child's Play 3? Let me know in the comments. Let me sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.